after meeting you, I didn't realize the amount of women that adore you. Okay, sorry, you look a little bit embarrassed. On my YouTube channel, I put up this little chat with you and I. And bear in mind, I spoke to everybody at the premiere, and I was just seeing all these comments coming for you. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? And it was like, Rosamund, everybody else, yeah, cool. But for you, let me just read a couple to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Young Fit says, I don't know if there's some science behind this, but Asian men's genetics are insane. I see a lot of Korean dramas. These men never seem to age, and this one is perfect. Maeve says, you are my life. You are my universe. You are a beautiful man, and I love you so much, Daniel.
I copy all those comments and put them on my refrigerator just to boost my ego every morning with my coffee.
But hey, how lovely is that? Because you've got a huge, strong fan base from all the work you've done previously.
I am so lucky and thankful. You know, I started my career in South Korea when I was just a baby. I was like 23 or something. And I was able to establish, not myself, but the show I was on was really popular. It was almost like a Seinfeld level popular. And so with that, you're going to get a lot of loyal fans, and they've followed me the whole way. And that's a really beautiful thing about the Asian culture is they stick with their peeps. You know, they've been there the whole ride with me, and it's been 20-some years now. And they say really nice things, and they're always there. And I can't say it's not me, it's them. I don't know.
Well, you kind of are easy on the eye as well, but I do think you're right. I do think there is definitely loyalty and support, and I think that's wonderful. And to see you where you are now, and the fact that you do represent the Korean culture, but you're also in this massive series with such a diverse cast, it's wonderful.
It's great. And I think especially with the Asian fans, they really buy in to the shows that you're in. If they love you, they support you, they're going to love anything you're in, and they don't really judge it harshly, and which is great. You go to a theater in South Korea, and you can be watching the cheesiest film you've ever seen, and my Western mind wants to tear it apart or like criticize, and they are just loving it. They are 100% in,
Nice.
And that's pretty beautiful.
I mean, can you imagine if critics were like that? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
It'd be amazing.
If our friends are in trouble, why would they ever stay here?
You have no conception of the power they wield.
You can't do this by yourself.
Season 2, how are you feeling?
We're really excited. It's always surreal because it's been a while. What excites me the most is that we've seen most of it now, and we're really excited with it. I think season 1 we had some challenges internally and some things. Any show, the first season, it's a trial. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to get some traction. You make mistakes, and you learn a lot of things. And so when I sat and watched season 2, it just felt like the pacing and the tone. And it had that fantasy pacing, where the characters were allowed to breathe and to speak, and it wasn't rushed. And it wasn't like that all the time during season 1. We did have some moments. Mm-hmm. And so we're just excited for people to see that, even despite COVID, we were able to execute this pretty good season. And it's a strong representation of what this show can be.
Hey, listen, does it get any easier? Season 2, it's based on some incredible books. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I naturally, I'm not hardcore about it, but I understand that you're never going to be able to get every single detail that a book allows you to have in a film or a TV series. But the fans are quite hardcore when it comes to shows like this. This time round, I mean, you built the community, you've been there for the whole first season, they've loved it. Does it get easier, or are you still like, I wonder what they're going to say when they see it?
If I can just be completely honest with you, as actors, there's not much we can do about that. There's a lot of things that Rafe and his team and everyone have to do, because there's 14, 15, if you're counting New Spring, 4 million some odd words. Yeah. You've got no promise as to how long the show can go. So you have to strategize about certain aspects of the books that may be good to include early. It may be good to change things to boost some of the storylines.
Yeah.
I know that he's always got the spirit of the books in mind, and he's a massive book fan. And so we just follow him, and we know that he's got our best interest in mind.
So you don't feel the stress of like the comments. What are they going to say? You're like, it's cool.
I don't really read the comments. I think I learned that a long time ago in South Korea, that it can be detrimental to your mental health.
Actually, I went on your Instagram today and it was a breath of fresh air, just loads of beautiful dogs.
Well, that's what I do. I just figure if they can find something bad about dogs, I mean, come on. So I put dogs up and some
Which is good. Listen, you mentioned Rave, the showrunner. He said this season, lots of crying, lots of screaming, and lots of fighting. And two people talking a lot in a room. I'm assuming you're one of the two, potentially, maybe.
We talk a lot in rooms. There's a lot of talking. Fantasy, there's a lot of sitting and talking and in deep, pensive moments. But the fighting is there. I was challenged a lot this season. I think Rosamund and I were really excited about showcasing this part of their journey, with the bond and what happens with the bond and her being cut off and her not being able to channel and how that affects them, and her being so secretive and Lan being frustrated. All these things are really fun to play with. The great thing about season 2 is you're seeing all these characters away from each other on their respective journeys, and you're really seeing what they're made of. And I can't say enough about our cast. I really think they were phenomenal season 1. They've stepped up season 2 even more. I've watched these episodes and I'm really blown away by some of these performances. So I just hope they get the credit they deserve.
Well, on a lighter note, I was told about the costumes, and some of your co-stars have said costumes are the next level, and they are kind of sexy. They're looking kind of good. How was yours? Like, how did it compare to season 1?
I had a little bit of modification. I like to keep Lan really simple. We like to keep him in the same sort of palette. He's not the kind of guy who changes a lot, you know what I mean? But we did have some nice additions, I think, with some shoulder stuff going on. It's been trying to figure out how to navigate the sword on the back with the different layers has always been a challenge, because things will droop. The cloak was the big issue season 1 we were trying to have, but we couldn't keep the cloak on with the sword on, and it would just droop down. So we boosted the shoulders up a bit. You'll see some of that happen. But it's the same color palette, same basic stuff for Lan. Yeah.
I'm wondering, is there anything that Lan has kind of infiltrated inside of you that you've taken into your own life in some way?
I can hit someone with an icy stare.
Okay, let me see.
It's just, if like someone does something stupid and you're like, you lock a stare in, I can hold it longer now than I used to be able to. Like there's that period when it's kind of uncomfortable, but Lan doesn't care about that. Lan will just look you through to your soul. And I can do that in my normal life now, but it's only with my dogs, which is weird. So I haven't tried that on people.
You look quite like Simon Cowell, not like him, but when he used to do when he does those reality shows, you've got your pen in your hand, you're doing the stare whilst you're telling me that you can do the stare, and it's kind of, it's giving me like evil baddie, like watch out.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Yeah, because after Lan, I want to be a judge on a talent show, so I'm trying to.
Or you could be a Bond villain.
I could be a Bond villain.
I was going to say Bond, but after you telling me about the stare and the way you were moving that pen around, I was thinking more villain now. No longer, we don't want you as Bond now. I want you to be a villain instead.
I would take either.
Awesome. Listen, have a fantastic day. So nice to chat to you. Thank you for the time. I hope everything goes really well. And congrats. I've only watched episode 1, but it's looking amazing.
You have great energy. Keep it up.